We will promote a safer and healthier campus environment. This will include, but will not be limited to, a ban on hard alcohol at campus events. Student organizations, especially fraternities and sororities, will need to live under tougher rules.
So this is Dartmouth in the state of live free or die, and Rachel is with me. Paige has joined us. So a ban on hard liquor. I would assume you can still get old blotto on beer.
Well, that's right. This is not a ban on beer, which of course is probably the alcoholic substance that students like the most.
The drink of choice?
Or wine, or coolers. There's lots of things that of course are not banned. And I think that this would make Dartmouth probably just about as fun as his statement there sounded. It sounded really fun, right?
Yeah,
I would love to go there.
It looked like a party animal.
Yeah, and it's come full circle, right? Because this is the college that was the inspiration for the movie Animal House. So now they've done the whole circle there.
I don't want to make light of the kinds of things they're trying to approach here. Sexual violence, drunkenness, all the kinds of things that are problems on college campuses. I'm just not sure this does it.
Yeah, well, you know, you and I were talking about yesterday on another college campus that some of the sorority sisters were being told to stay home during rush events for the fraternities. And I talked to you about how we have the importance of getting to the root of these issues. So not just telling women to stay home from these events, but actually looking at these issues of sexual assault and some of the other problems that come out of these fraternities and sororities. I would argue that this is actually a great policy, and as I read more into it, I thought, you know, this is a really good way of being a leader in dealing with some of these issues. And like Paige said, you know, this isn't a total ban, so they're not saying, you know, welcome to university, you can never have a drink of alcohol. They're just allowing people to limit the amount of alcohol that they're consuming.
They're just arbitrarily choosing a type of alcohol that people aren't going to, because everybody knows that vodka's the rape.
But they made a fair point.
They
made a fair point and said, you know, a lot of students come from their parents' homes, they come to university campuses, and they don't know how much they can handle. And these types of alcohol with higher proofs are the causes of a lot of over drinking, which is the root of a lot of these issues.
You know, another issue I think they have in American campuses that might be different than here in Canada is that half the student body is not old enough to drink.
Yes.
Here, by the time you get out of high school and go off to university, generally you're old enough because it's 18, well, it's 19 in some places, but it's 21 everywhere in the United States. So you go off to university at 18, 19, 20, and there's people around you drinking who legally can drink, and it's a complicating factor.
So half of the students can't drink legally, but half of them can. And all of them are adults. And all of them do, absolutely. Yeah. So I think that like when I saw this, my thought was, okay, these are adults. You're telling adults, aside from the ridiculousness of banning anything, especially alcohol on a university campus, they should just ban sex if they're concerned about sexual assault. I'm sure that would stop all the students from having sex as well. But I mean, I think that an important point as well is that these are young adults. These aren't babies. They don't need to, you know, line up single file, wait to go to class, and then take their shoes off when they get in. These are adults that are coming to a campus first to. It's not only about learning. The university experience is, of course, primarily about education, and I will applaud Dartmouth for raising the academic standards, because that's one of the things that they did in these reforms, which I think is a great idea, and Canadian universities could probably benefit from that as well. But these are people who are coming for new experiences. They need to, you know, try and fail and learn in that way as well.
And the best way to let them learn is by giving them guidelines in which to operate and saying, you know, getting really drunk off of very high proof alcohol is not allowed on our campus. And that said, I mean, these people can still go out off of campus and drink these alcohols.
So you're okay with the ban?
I'm okay. I'm fully okay with the ban. And they even talk about this new community system where students that are coming in will be placed in communities to try and combat, you know, the fraternities and sororities and some of the problems that they're having there. And I really liked that approach as well. This university is taking these problems very seriously. They're putting out strong guidelines, and I think they're really a leader in trying to combat these problems.
Well, I think that you made a really great point by saying that it's going to take the activity off campus, which is of course what it will do. There will still be a lot of drinking on campus, of course, because you can't. what do bans do, though? They drive things underground. What are the substances that are banned in Canada? We can usually correlate those, look at drugs, with the sketchiest markets that exist in Canada, those black markets, and that's exactly what you're going to create. People are going to find dark corners off of campuses, parks perhaps in the city, in order to drink, because they're going to
I
anyway.
would disagree, though. I think that finally this university is coming out with a strong policy, and for too long we've seen universities turning blind eyes to some of these issues, and that, you know, instead of forcing it underground, I think students will be smarter in coming to university.
Oh, they're probably, I think, as Paige touched on it, I think forcing it off campus, and then it's like, okay, not our problem. One quick thing, we've only got about 30 seconds here.
Okay.
What do you make of require all students to undergo a 4-year sexual violence prevention program?
Yeah, that part really bothered me. 4 years, I think, is a little bit excessive, but I mean, they are drawing a very hard line here. Perhaps 1 year might have been appropriate, but
Or maybe that's a way of saying what you were talking about, Paige. Maybe they have banned sex.
Yeah, well, exactly. I think it's a lot like that equity course that they've suggested at my alma mater at Dalhousie. I think it's going to be politicized programming, and students get enough of that rammed down their throat in university already.
Thanks to both of you. Have a good
Thanks.
weekend.